Hello and welcome. I hope this is working okay. I'm having some problems broadcasting this morning. So let me know in the chat when you're here. I don't see anyone yet. I hope this is broadcasting okay. You guys can see me and hear me. Let me know if you're watching the replay too, let me know. I don't see anyone live as of yet. So just in case it's StreamYard and not me, I don't know. I've been having a hard time getting my StreamYard going. Oh, you see me. Yay. Yeah, great. It wasn't really working for me. I had to actually go from my laptop to my phone to do this. So sorry about the delay. I don't know why it just wouldn't stream. And then I was having a hard time streaming from my phone. Like, what am I going to do? I have to go live everywhere at once. And StreamYard is the only way I know how. So it's life with technology, right? But welcome to Mindset Monday. I hope everybody had a fantastic weekend. I hope you've enjoyed the creative recruiting boot camp that we've been doing and that you've been a part of it. Remember, all those videos come down tomorrow. So make sure that you watch it. We'll give you through the end of tomorrow to watch those videos. And we're still giving out the PDF of the script I use when I'm posting jobs that are available. So if you send us the phrase, you will still get that PDF. So make sure you catch up, watch all the videos before they're gone. But today we're going to be talking about attitude and how attitude is the game changer, right, for your success. Attitude and your outlook. Those are really the things that I see that really define the difference between people who are successful and who aren't. I know we've had a lot of people enter my groups. So let me just introduce myself as well. I'm sorry, guys. I've got like an eye or like a hair flying into my eye. It's driving me nuts. So my name is Evelyn Knight. I am the host of the Child Care Business Coach podcast. I am the owner and founder of Child Care Business Professionals, which is a company that helps navigate the business of childcare from a psychological perspective. My educational background is actually in psychology. I really emphasize neuropsychology, really understanding how the brain works. So I get people. I understand people, and I've taken my knowledge of business, what has made me a successful childcare business owner, and I've married that with approaching people where they are, right? So much of it is the same, just like what we do in the classroom, right? So much of it is just we meet the children where they are. If you guys know, like the scaffolding method, you meet them where they are and you build on that, right? That works at any age and stage of life. That is just how humans work. So if we take that and we create our business structures around what is best for the human brain, you suddenly get these dream teams, right? You're suddenly working with people who you thought were low quality, and they're suddenly a dream team. And we're going to talk a lot more about that. So I'm getting ahead of myself right now. But I'm also a childcare center owner myself. That is what really sets me apart from a lot of the other business coaches out there. The two things that set me apart. I own a childcare center. I know what it's like to be in the trenches. I've been a director. I've been in this field for years, and I still currently am in the field. I'm still buying centers, building centers. I still do this as just like you guys. But my psychology, those are the two things that really, really set me apart. So today we were talking about attitude, and I actually changed the subject I was going to talk about over the weekend, because an article came out about my hometown and how a center had to close because they had a massive teacher walkout, right? It's all of our worst nightmares. All your teachers get up and walk out all at once. I used to be afraid of that, but what you have to understand is when that happens, that is a problem with leadership. This is not a problem with our current culture at all. I know right now, a lot of people in the comments and whatnot are just like, oh my gosh, this is an epidemic right now. This is, the current situation. But what I want everybody to understand is when this center had to shut down overnight because all of their teachers walked up all at once, that means that these teachers were not being valued and they were not being treated the way they deserve to be treated. Let's have a discussion about this in the comments too. Let me know what your guys' take on this is too. Employees do leave, right? But they don't get up and leave together knowing what they're going to cause unless there's a huge issue. There is definitely, that just screams and tells me that these employees were not treated and respected the way they should be, right? When you help employees and you really lift them up and treat them the way they deserve to be treated, the way that they, for the hard work that they do, they're not going to just massively walk out. Yes, they may quit and leave. They might go on and to do other things, but they're going to have the common courtesy and they're going to see the center's needs. They're going to care enough about the children, right? That they're going to do things and put things in place so that they're leaving in a way that isn't going to make the center shut the doors. This is not about our hiring crisis. This is not about the Great Resignation. I actually think the Great Resignation is a wonderful thing. I actually think it's fantastic because people are not putting up with the status quo anymore. They've decided that it is time for something better, right? For them. They've decided that they want to level up in the world. And that's a good thing. This does not mean that they have to make more money. If you guys have been watching my presentation, I talked to you guys about my two employees that are actually posting in the comments right now, Mandy and Christina. They left high executive jobs and took a pay cut to come work for me because they believe in what I'm doing. It has nothing to do with what you're paying people. They took significant pay cuts because of their quality of life and they believe in the mission that I'm on, right? Why do you do what you do? You probably could make more money. As an EC leader, you could probably leave and make more money, but it's something bigger. It's something more. When you convey this message to your teachers, that is when they walk out. That when you have a high quality center and you really prioritize people, they're not going to just walk out on you, right? Yes, sometimes they're going to leave and that's okay. We want people to really lean into what is great for them, right? I know like Mandy, she left a fantastic job and she leaned into what was like where her passion is, where what she aligned with. She is an educator. She's passionate about children, right? She left a job that she did believe in for one that she believes more in, right? So that's what you guys need to understand is it's not about how much we're paying them, the benefits that we offer. It's about really having a mission and conveying it, right? It's about how do you treat them? Do you treat them with decency and respect? I posted this comment right now. The same thing has happened at a poor quality center I worked at. We could not keep staff because it was poor quality, right? And you didn't, and I'm sure, and I'm sorry, I can't see your name. It, as you see on the screen, it just says Facebook user, but yeah, you can't keep stuff when it's poor quality because poor quality isn't treating their teachers well. It's not treating the children well. You're not doing what's best for the children and you're not doing what's best for your staff. I had someone comment on the post that I put on there that, you know, this is all about how you treat. And somebody commented on the post something about, well, not always, right? Because sometimes there's just poor professionals. Yes, nothing is 100% true. But what I have to say about that is it is our responsibility to coach and mentor our staff. I know for me, I hire a lot of very young girls. So I need to know, and you, all of us in EC need to understand this. This is where the EC revolution needs to happen. We need to understand that when we bring these people in, it is our responsibility to coach and mentor them to become professional teachers, right? Our field as a whole is always crying that we're not seen and treated as professionals, but we do that to ourselves. That is our responsibility. I am treated as professional. I am seen as a professional, and I'm a part of the EC community. But that is because I demand that respect. I put that out into the world. I also treat my staff the same way, and I teach them how to be professionals. It's all a part of my 6-month onboarding process, right? That's why I onboard my staff for 6 months, because I understand that this isn't just teaching them how to be in a classroom. It's not just teaching them how to do circle time or to sit and do art projects. This is about teaching them about who they're going to be, right? Let's see. Tiffany says, yes, and recognize that the generations have changed and we have to meet them where they are. We have to help them level up. Tiffany is actually one of my clients, and that's something I'm teaching all the time. What did I talk about last Monday on day 1 of the Creative Recruiting Bootcamp? I really painted the picture on why we are here today, right? So yes, we can control this. We don't have to have people leaving our centers. We don't have to have mass walkouts. And yes, we can recruit. It is up to us. That is why I chose attitude and outlook for today. That is really why I really want to focus on your attitude and your outlook. Because if you're coming from an attitude of, oh, I just can't hire anybody, I can't keep anybody, I can't make money, and that is what you're going to put out into the world. It's called, in the psychology world, it's called a self-fulfilling prophecy, right? Where basically what's happening is your subconscious mind is extremely powerful. And all the things that are happening around you are feeding your subconscious mind. Okay. Your subconscious mind is really what is putting things into action. And if you're constantly saying things and having an attitude of, oh, this is an epidemic, this is happening everywhere, we're doomed, then you are going to take actions and do things that actually fulfill what you're saying. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy, right? Yes, your mind is so very powerful. You have to consciously take control of your thoughts and tell yourself, no, this isn't true. I can bring people in. I can retain them. There is so much more than paying high wages, right? I was talking again last week to Mandy, who comes from, she was a K through 12 teacher, and she was saying that she's really still has her hand on the pulse in K through 12. We in ECE are always saying we can't hire because teachers make so much more. But did you know that they're saying the same thing in K through 12? That's what Mandy and I were talking about. How they're afraid teachers are leaving in droves and all this is happening. Teachers are afraid they're being replaced. It's our mindset, right? We're always comparing ourselves over here to the K through 12 world, right? And we're always saying, oh, well, we can't compete because they do this and this. But do you realize that they're saying the same thing, right? Every industry is saying the same thing. That's where we need to stop and recognize how powerful our industry is. Change our attitude towards things, right? Your attitude in every portion of your life is going to dictate where you are. It's your mind. What is your attitude towards money, right? Do you believe that money is scarce? It's hard to come by. It just goes away when you get it. Do you believe that money is the root of all evil? Do you believe that money makes people, what is that old saying that everybody always says, like, oh, money makes people bad or something? I can't even remember because I so don't believe in that stuff. I can tell you from somebody who has studied the human brain my entire life, money does not change people. Money does not do anything wrong. You were always that person, right? That person who you see that got money and that they appeared to change, that was always inside their heart. That was always their character. Money just enhances who you are. That's it, right? So if it enhances you, then what do you do when you do have money? How do you change? What good can you do in the world, right? What can you put into the world, and how can you use that money for good instead of bad? Somebody who has a good heart and a good character, when they get money, they're going to do lots of good things. That's just how it is. So attitude is everything. Really start questioning your attitudes. When these negative thoughts start creeping into your mind, ask yourself, why am I thinking this, and where did it come from? Where did this thought first start in my life? This is not right. When you can't recruit, you need to go to the why. What can I do to overcome it? Why do we just accept what's coming? Right? Why do we sit back and just say, oh, you're right. I can't, I can't, I can't. I used to have that attitude. I used to not be able to hire. I used to not be able to retain staff. I used to not be able to get children to come into my childcare center. Right? I used to be really struggling financially, and I didn't have a wait list once upon a time. My center was a revolving door. As soon as children came in, children would go out. And I blamed everybody. I blamed the competition, the economy, the lack of parent education, my poor staff. But I never took accountability. I never realized it was my outlook on life. It was my attitude. It was my negativity that was really bringing all this on me, because I was fulfilling this prophecy, right? I wasn't leading a strong team because my attitude was so bad. People didn't want to be around me because my attitude was so bad. So I couldn't retain staff, and I was taking it out on them, right? I was a mean employer who was taking things out on my staff because I had a bad attitude. Attitude and your outlook are everything, and they go hand in hand. If you have a bad attitude about things, you're going to have a bad outlook on life. And the same thing goes. If your outlook on life is very negative and you think that money is scarce and there's not enough of it, if you think that the competition is too harsh, if you think your employees suck, you're going to have a bad attitude, right? And then you're going to start pushing people away, and you're not going to turn your team into the team that they can be. We have the power to bring this to fruition when we change our outlook and our attitude. They really do go hand in hand. So the other thing is really watch who you're surrounding yourself with. I had to actually leave a lot of the Facebook groups out there for early childhood education because of how negative it is. It is so negative. I mean, I used to go in there, and it would make me so frustrated because not only do a lot of these people not even like children. I mean, all it is about complaining like, oh, I had to deal with this child. Oh, I had to deal with this child. Not only does it seem like they don't like children, but they also seem to hate their lives. The industry, everything is horrible. The children are horrible. I just kind of look at it and think like, why are you even in childcare when you think children are so awful, that they're so exhausting, right? So watch who you surround yourself with. When I was talking to my executive team about this, Mandy brought up a good point. She said, that's why when she was a school teacher, she had to stop eating in the teacher's lounge. She said, if you go into the teacher's lounge, all you hear about is how awful this child is and how awful that child is. And you surround yourself with this negativity, that your thoughts towards the children and towards the work you're doing also start to become negative. That's why being a part of something like my mastermind group is so incredibly powerful. I got a message from one of my members last week that basically she thanked me for being positive. That was it. One of my members sent me a message, and she just said, thank you so much for this group and for always bringing such a positive mindset and for being positive. And she said, it's so much easier to stay in this positive frame of mind when you're surrounded by positive people, right? That's why we meet 3 times a week. That's one of the reasons. It's not the only reason. But what a lot of my members don't understand is a lot of the way we've structured our program is intentional. Why do I do these Mindset Mondays for everybody for free, right? I could do this just for my members that pay me, but I understand that really changing our attitude and our outlook on life will change our industry. And I am out to start the ECE revolution. That is my goal now. That I want to touch 1 million children. And last week, last 2 weeks, I've done some soul searching on how am I going to change the world? And I know we have the power to do that through the ECE revolution. That is my attitude. I am one person in a small little tiny town in Nevada, but I know that I can do this, right? And it's because of how I see the world. It's because of my attitude about things. Any of you could do this work I'm doing, but You have to know, like, you've got to have that courage and that strength and that attitude, right? And that is contagious. And that's why it's important for us to surround ourselves with those positive people who also understand that we have the power to change the world, right? That is why things like my mastermind are so powerful to be a part of. And that's why I know that the price I charge is a steal for what I bring to people's lives. Whenever you want to be somewhere, you need to find those people that are they're already there, right? These are the people you want to be like. You admire them and you need to get in the room with them. You need to really just lean in and be a part of what they do. That's why I chose my business coach. My business coach, her business structure was exactly where I wanted to be already. And I listened to her podcast. I just like completely engulfed myself. I'm sure I have one of her books sitting. No, I actually don't. How ironic. But I read all her books. I listened to her podcast. I joined her coaching program. I did all the things so I could understand how she thinks and so it would rub off. And then I found myself in this community of really high level people. And I found that I started leveling up, right? And so that's what I do now. I'm always going to be in a coaching program that is at the level I want to be at. And there's always people growing, right? So then you just keep leveling up, surround yourself with those people. If you're exhausted, if you're just exhausted and so tired, look at the people around you. What is their mindset like? Are they also exhausted? Do they also have these negative mindsets that they can't accomplish, that everything is awful, that the parents, everything, right? If that's what you're surrounding yourself with, you need to get in the room with people who are positive and who don't see the world this way. The more you're around people like that, the more your mindset will start shifting. The more you're going to open your eyes to that negativity that's around you that's really dragging you down. I can teach you guys all the best business stuff in the world, right? We were actually referred to as the Harvard of childcare business. I can do that for you. But if I can't change your mindset and your attitude, if I can't get down to the psychology of things, it means nothing. Nothing. That is why I do mindset. I do so much life coaching and mindset because I know that you could have the best MBA in the world, right? But if you don't have the right mindset, you're not going anywhere. Look at someone like Elon Musk, okay? One of the most successful, powerful men in the world just bought Twitter, for goodness sakes. He literally just bought Twitter because he didn't like the censorship that they were putting out there. That's how powerful this man is, right? And he basically doesn't have these huge degrees that a lot of the businessmen do. He doesn't. He is a self-made man. Did you know that Elon Musk got to the billion, with a B, $1 billion mark and went completely bankrupt? A lot of people don't know this about him. And then he did it again. He's become a billionaire twice in his life. He actually gambled all his money on SpaceX. And he believed so much in the program that he put everything he was on the line and lost it. But he didn't give up. He kept going. He still has SpaceX and it's doing great now. He still has all the things, right? So not only did he become a billionaire once, but he lost it all and did it again. That is the power of your attitude and your outlook and your mindset, right? That is the power of the people that we want to be in the room with, because we do have that much power to change the world. So really just watch. The psychology is, to me, even more important than the businessman, right? Understanding how people think. If you really want to get to that next level, stop being afraid of what's out there. Stop being afraid of the economy. Stop being afraid of your teachers leaving, your teachers not staying, not being able to recruit. That is all in your leadership. You have the power to change. And that is something we really need to lean into in early childhood education. In this time where no matter what side you're on, right, politically, everything is a mess. It doesn't matter if you're a conservative or a liberal. We all know Things are a mess right now. We literally, as early childhood educational leaders, have the power to change the world. We are forming 90% of the human brain. When we as ECE leaders really lean into that and just own it, it's going to become contagious, and people are going to be, we're not going to be able to have enough jobs to fill all the positions that we have open. But we have to make sure the world understands the work that we do and how important it is. And we have to stay in control of that work. We have to do it with intentionality, right? We have to really make sure that we are raising these children up to be the strong, amazing adults that they can be, that we can lead them to be. And that is the power that we have when we're recruiting. So we don't need to fear the Great Resignation. We don't need to fear the economy. We just need to start educating parents on why it is so important to get the 70% of our market that isn't in childcare. We need to get them in, right? And we need to really convince the people that with hearts of gold that really love and have a passion for children why they need to work with us. That is what we need. We need a revolution. And we need to start with teaching the world how important early childhood education is. And that starts with you and your attitude. So I hope everybody can join me today. I will be live once again at 1 p.m. With a couple of my clients today. I'm excited for you guys to hear from them. And then tomorrow I have a closed doors Zoom session starting. So if you are interested in that, where you basically can pretty much experience what it's like to be with me on one of my open office hours. Every Tuesday and Wednesday, I have an office hour where I'm just live. You can jump on, we can talk, we can discuss things. Sometimes we vent about what's going on in our centers, sometimes, but most of the time we're working on problems. We're problem solving. We're working on, and it's just the little everyday things. Like I have a parent who refuses to bring a change of clothing. I've even brought issues to the table. I had a very unique issue to me one that happened that I was like, wow, I didn't know what to deal with. I actually had a mom of a 4-year-old actually who was still breastfeeding came in and started breastfeeding in the 4-year-old classroom. I am a huge, huge advocate for breastfeeding to the point that we actually provide a space in my center. I don't care if a mother of a 4-year-old is breastfeeding, but in the classroom, that's where I have to draw the line. Right. So I came to my group to myself and just said, hey, what are your suggestions? Like, what do we do? You know, and I knew what to do. We just need affirmation a lot of times. A lot of times we just need to know. And sometimes it's just fun to vent together and just like, wow, this is a new one. Hey, guys, I got a new one for you. Right. So being in the room with these high level women, it's amazing. I'm there. My executive team is there. We have a lot of knowledge in the room. So we problem solve and come together and work on things. It is an awesome opportunity. So join us tomorrow on Zoom. If you if you don't have a concierge, let us know in the comments. They can get you the link to the Zoom. One of my team members can jump on with you, get you the link to the Zoom so that you can just really interact and be a part of the room. You can also see what it's like to be a part of that positive community, right? That can help you to level up instead of that draining. Get yourself out of those Facebook groups that are just draining you. If you see more negative than positive and they're not uplifting, just remove yourself from the group. They're not worth it, you guys. They are killing your mindset. They're stealing your joy, and it's not worth your time and energy. So I hope everybody has a great rest of your day. I hope to see you guys again at 1 p.m. And I really hope to see you on Zoom tomorrow so we can actually have conversations and interact. Bye, everybody.